Hey there, this is Rick. I hope everyone's having a great day. Welcome back to the allotment. It's been 2 months since I've been here. It's the middle of July right now, middle of summer. As you can see, lots of things have been growing. We're going to be taking a look at those in a minute. But I must say, to start with, this is going to be a video with slightly mixed emotions going on. Probably a bit of a clue in the video title, but there's a sort of a bittersweet thing going on here today, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think before I do anything, I'm going to open up and get a cup of tea, get the kettle on, and we'll see what's what. So I'll see you in a second. It's absolutely amazing how nature just takes over. You leave things alone for 2 months, especially in the growing season, which is now, and where there was blank earth, despite the fact that I've taken measures to kind of stop the weeds, things have still grown up in a fairly major way. So it is true that nature does not like open earth. And it really does seem to just kind of want to fill in the blanks. What I am particularly interested in, though, or impressed by, is this: the Jerusalem artichokes. These things, they grew up amazing last year. I did try some. Didn't like them that much, to be honest. But I didn't even clear away the old stems. I mean, the old stems are still here. But they've just kind of pushed the old stems out of the way, and they've grown up again, and they once again they look amazing. And when I was into prepping a number of years ago, I was always told about Jerusalem artichokes. They said you can basically throw anything at them and they just grow, and they're actually apparently a good nutritious food source if you do eat the bulbs. And what a lot of prepper people do is they'll plant these out in the wild somewhere. They'll actually, find a bit of land somewhere that's, nobody goes near or whatever, and they'll just chuck a load of these in, so they know in a preparedness situation where there's actual kind of wild food growing, and it just takes care of itself. So if you're into prepping, look up Jerusalem artichokes, and they're quite a worthy little plant. Right, let's take a little look around everywhere, and we'll see what's been happening while I haven't been here for 2 months. Now, it definitely looks like I'm going to be going away with at least a few harvests today, so they're pretty much ready for picking, so I should be taking those away with me today. The beds up the top end here, they never actually got used, but the bindweed has come in and just taken them over, as it has done with my neighbour's plot. There always was a bindweed issue on this plot, and here you can see there it is everywhere, and it's starting to looks like it's starting to choke up some of his brassicas and stuff that he's got over there. Now, I don't know if you remember in one of the previous videos when I came down here, I planted up runner beans right the way across here, and unfortunately they just completely got frazzled. We had this really kind of snappy heat wave, and a couple of days I didn't come down and water, and they literally all just were burnt to a crisp. But it does look like we've got 1 or 2 survivors, and they're doing quite well. Can't see any beans on them, but I expect there will be some later on in the year, so it might be worth popping back and doing a harvest later on. Has it really been 4 years since I started this project? It doesn't seem that long, but obviously it has been. I've learnt a lot on my little journey into allotmenteering, and it's been quite an amazing time, really. It's been quite a good journey. We've got 110-ish episodes out of it as well, and I suppose it's only fitting that I come up with what I've learned, if I can think of them. Allotmenting is a great hobby if you can be passionate about it. It brings a lot of pleasure. I mean, one of the things I love to do is just kind of potter around, just come down here. If you live in a kind of a noisy household, or you're just kind of looking for a little bolt hole, you can just kind of disappear off to. Allotments are absolutely wonderful. They're fantastic. They get you fit. Lots of digging, lots of moving around. They get the old creative mind going. Obviously, all of this I designed and kind of built. Although a lot of it was just kind of problem solving. The raised beds were there because of the water problems, and the membranes down because of the weed problems. And so for me, it's been a challenge, but a kind of a fun challenge. And I'm one of the things I love to do is problem solve. I'm a fixer. I can make things work if they don't, if they're not working the way they're supposed to. I try to find a workaround, and that's pretty much what I did here. On the downside, of course, and this is where I fell down. You have to be completely committed. If you think of the example of the guy with the circus act, he's got the pole with the spinning plates, and he's got a plate spinning on a pole, and then he gets another one going. But he's got to go back to this one before the plate falls down. It's a little bit like that. If you don't come down here, especially during the hot, dry season, if you don't come down here every day and water everything, then things just start dying off, and all your hard work can be gone in a week. Some things are hardy, they'll pull through and they'll take care of themselves, like the Jerusalem artichokes. You can also grow other things that you can just put in the ground and forget about. Obviously, you've got the weed issue again, because as we've seen for the last 4 years, nature does not like open, bare earth. It likes to cover it up with stuff. But there are things you can plant that you can just kind of walk away, but it's not a big variety. But yeah, you just basically got to stay on top of it. And what I was finding personally was that every spare bit of time that I got suddenly became automatically allocated to the allotment. Literally for the last 4 years, I haven't been able to say to myself, I've got the afternoon off. What should I do with myself? What can I do? I've got this time off to myself. And just be able to sit down and think, I'll go for a drive, I'll go and do this. No, everything has been, I must get this done down at the allotment. And basically it's been, there are things that need to be done on the allotment, and to me they sort of became a bit of a chore, and they just hang over you in the background, the chores waiting to be done. And unfortunately my enthusiasm for planting and growing it just wasn't enough to weather those sort of little clouds hanging over me. And so in the end, I've decided, I presume you figured this out already, but this is actually the last allotment video that I'm going to be making, and I'm not going to be renewing my lease next year. So this will be the last year that I own this allotment. And today, pretty much, I'm going to be coming down, obviously down here, going to be just harvesting what I can, and then I'm going to be bringing my tools back, and anything that I want to save, I should be bringing home with me. But the rest of it will go to the next person who takes on the allotment. Whoever gets this place after me, hopefully they're going to be a little bit happy, because obviously I've done a lot of the hard work for them. Now I know I'm probably going to get loads of comments of people just saying, what a waste, what an absolute waste, you spent all that time, effort and money, making this place, doable and usable, but I've just lost the interest. I've never actually been that green-fingered, and if you look back at the videos I've done, if I'm honest with myself, it's been more about the planning and the construction and the problem solving than it has been about the growing. And I find now I've sort of solved all the problems, and all I need to do now is just kind of grow stuff, I'm finding my interest is waning. I'm just like, well, actually, I'm not that bothered. So that's basically where I'm at with the allotment. It's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not the end of the channel. The RickVanMan channel will go on. I will be bouncing back onto that at some point very soon, and I'll just do other things. There's always something to sort of have an interest in. But unfortunately, the allotment won't be on that list. Now, I am happy to say that these strawberry plants have grown, albeit in amongst the weeds. The cardboard thing does seem to have worked a little bit, in so much as the weeds that are coming through are few and far between, but they're quite sturdy weeds. I've got a lamb's quarter coming up there with quite a thick stem on it, but all the bits in between, they're still blank. So there's still something positive to be said for this putting a sheet of cardboard down. Is this a big strawberry I see before? Yes, look at that. There we go. I've got an unmolested strawberry. Shall I try it? Shall I go for it? Let's have a go. Oops, let's split it in half. It's got a strange, slightly mutant shape to it. But let's give it a go. Yeah, not bad at all. Is it? There's not a lot of flavour in that. It's quite watery, which is impressive considering these beds haven't been watered for 2 months. So obviously they're getting their water from somewhere. Hopefully the roots have gone down and they're getting it out of the ground. But sorry, crunchy, mouthy noises. At least I can say I've had at least one strawberry from my allotment this year. I got an email from Greg, one of my allotment friends, yesterday, and he says, I think some of your spuds and some of your peas are ready. And by Joe, he's right. This thing is crawling with peas. There we go. Again, I've just left this to its own devices, and I'm quite impressed. There's no weeds here. It's just purely peas. So the cardboard under the soil in this instance did work, so that's good. Let's give them a try. Let's just pop a pod open. I think I've done this before in previous years, but there's nothing nicer than peas straight off the pod. I think with this one there should be 9. Certain pea pods produce a certain amount of peas. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Let's give one a try. It looks like a caterpillar, doesn't it? Let's give one a try. They're a little bit on the big side, so they'll be a little bit tough, which they are. But they're still incredibly sweet. That's very nice. Nature's candy, nature's sweets. If you want to bring your kids up on vegetables, you want them to eat more vegetables, make them grow peas. They're ever so easy to grow. They can grow them themselves, and it's like growing their own sweets. They will love these. Now, I originally made these double size or double height pallet collars for carrots and parsnips. There's some pretty big things here. I think that's, I can't tell. I think these are parsnips. Don't think they're going to be ready yet. Yeah, parsnips, there we go. Plenty of bindweed choking everything up. This stuff's evil. It really is. But a lot of it's grown through the chicken wire. I kind of bent this chicken wire over it to protect the seedlings, but of course I haven't been back to remove it. So everything's going to be a bit entangled. Let's just move this over. Right, let's pull something up and see if anything... Actually, I can tell by the way this is just wobbling around that it's all tops and no bottoms. Let's try one. Yeah, nowhere near ready yet. It's way too early. That's all I got. Loads of top, and that's all I got for the bottom. So I might give those a little weed and just leave them to their own devices. Maybe come back just before the winter and just see what I can get as a last sort of harvest, but nothing's anywhere near ready yet. The last thing on the menu is of course the potatoes, which I grew in pots, and there's some there and some there. I'm going to be harvesting all of those today. Now, these two planters here originally had flowers in them, these two beds here, and all the flowers died off, and I didn't do anything. I didn't touch them, I didn't replant anything else, but it looks like a load of a load of potatoes have come up along with a single flower. There you go, that's the only flower I have grown. I don't know whether that's a zinnia or not. I actually planted zinnias in there, but I thought they all died off. That may be a lone survivor. Right, one by one, I'm going to go through all of these potatoes and we'll see what we got. Now I can see straight away there's a few dead ones on the top, and there's some little ones underneath. That one's green, so I have to get rid of that, but let's see what we can harvest. So, there we go. That is from 12, 30 or 35 litre buckets. It's not brilliant, let's be honest about it. And the one thing you'll probably notice more than anything else is how small they are. This is from buckets that have been left unattended, left to their own devices. They have not been fed. They've watered occasionally. Obviously they've been outside, so whenever it rains, which has been quite a lot, they've got watered. But basically what I've got there is a big bowl of salad potatoes, or most of them, which are going to be a nightmare to peel. Well, there's only a couple of things left to harvest now, and the first one is the peas, and I'm just going to basically go through these and peel off anything I can. Now there are some peas here that look a little bit tough. The skins have gone all wrinkly, and I'm not sure they're going to be any good. I'll break them open and see what they're like. They might be a little bit too tough. Yeah, they're beyond their sell-by date, unfortunately. But there are plenty of kind of succulent-looking ones here as well, so I should just be going for those. Right, there we go. Whoop. Nearly trip over. There we go, that's what I should be taking home with me today. And next thing I've got to harvest is that blackcurrant bush up there. So there we go, that's what I'm going to be taking home with me, which is some potatoes, some peas, a couple of strawberries and some blackcurrants. As I say, it's a slightly bittersweet time, because obviously there's a lot of good memories here, a lot of good fun, a lot of good people as well. I've met some really, really decent people here, and it's going to be sad to say goodbye to them. And although, you know, we've got emails and stuff, we probably stay in touch over, you know, sort of the internet and stuff. And I know they'll probably carry on watching the videos and maybe commenting and stuff. So it's not, you know, complete goodbye. But when I made the decision to give up, I've had no regrets since. I made the decision about a month ago, and I wanted to just kind of let it sit there with that decision, just to kind of see whether I was going to change my mind or whatever. But no, I'm happy to walk away. Now I want to say thank you to everybody who's kind of supported me and left loads of comments and things like that on my channel over this last 4 years, for all the allotment videos, all the ideas you guys have given me. There's a lot of your ideas here, and you guys have really helped to shape this into what it is. Although discount the last 2 months, but yeah, so I want to say massive thanks, because it has been a kind of an interactive two-way process, and I don't by any stretch of the imagination feel that I've done this on my own. And so in a way it's kind of going to be a little bit sad for you guys as well, because part of you is here, and we're kind of walking away from it. So but yeah, unfortunately it's just got to be, it's one of those things. There's no point in just carrying on doing something for the sake of it. You've got to have your heart in it, you've got to have the passion to do it. And I would recommend anybody who can get passionate about allotments and has that time and energy, and that just, they're going to love just kind of growing stuff in a place like this, then go for an allotment. But if it's not necessarily going to be your cup of tea, if growing food is just going to be a novelty, which it is for many people, then allotment life is pretty full on, and it's going to take a big chunk of your life. It's going to take a big chunk of your time. So if it's not something that you want, then allotment life is probably not going to be for you, as I'm sort of finding it's not for me. But there we go. Right, I suppose it's time I ended this video, isn't it, really? So it's quite sad, but like I say, the channel's still here. I'm going to carry on making videos, doing other things, but this is the last time you guys are going to see the allotment. So I want to say thanks for watching, guys. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks for all your support over the years, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.